a preschool developed in Untitled in the North Central Province. Clean drinking water for the children of the MAALIGATENNA school in WELIMADA, BANDARAWELA. A library for the youngsters at the KUMBUKOYA Rural School between rural Polonnaruwa and Matale. Clean water for school children in HAMBEGAMUWA, MONARAGALA. Classrooms for students at the primary school in Ralapanawa, Anuradhapura. The complete development of the SINDAATHIMAATHA school in KALPITIYA, PUTTLAM. These are a few examples of GAMMADA's action and impact. Thanks to you, the people. GAMMADA. By the people. For the people.
Good afternoon. Today is the 28th of April 2022. Welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Sanita Senanayake. Let's first take a look at the headlines. Thousands of Sri Lankan trade unions on strike. President calls for meeting with government MPs. SLFP places condition to attend all party meeting. Did the government listen to the cries of the people? Ministers facing issues due to absence of gazette on their functions. Police intervention in farmers' protest. On to those stories in detail. Thousands of trade unions are on a nationwide strike today in what is known as the largest ever strike in recent Sri Lankan history. The trade union action, organized under the theme "Bow to the Referendum, the government is going home," will see the participation of trade unions representing the health, education, transport, ports, electricity, estates and other sectors in the country. The objective of the trade union action is to seek the removal of the government within 7 days. Moving on, staff attached to the Katunayaka Investment Promotion Zone protested today in support of the nationwide trade union action by government, semi-government and private sector employees.
The employees at the Katunayaka Investment Promotion Zone are staging a protest march since this morning in support of the trade union action. The group walked from the Katunayaka Investment Promotion Zone to the Avarivatha Junction.
The employees of the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone worked hard to bring dollars to the country during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are forced to spend 3 times their income to get by. They are demanding the rulers to step down from power. The Rajapaksas must make a decision now to step down without destroying this nation. If not, we will start the process of removing this government from power on the 6th.
More than 6,000 employees attached to the Koggala Free Trade Zone launched a protest demanding the resignation of the president. One lane along the Mathragall main road was obstructed due to the protest. According to our correspondent, a group of protesters also engaged in a protest march from Koggala to Habaradua. The staff attached to the Vatupitivala Investment Promotion Zone launched a protest march to Nitambua.
Estate workers are also joining the nationwide strike. Due to this, the tea plucking activities were hampered in many parts of the island today.
Shops in Norelia, Hatton, Thalawakale, Kotagala, Norwood Bhagawan and Muskelia were closed in support of the protests opposing the rising cost of living, fuel price hike, gas shortages and power cuts. The Hatton Norelia private bus services were also reduced to a minimum and only a few SLTB buses were in service. The Lanka town was the destination of the march that was initiated by the employees and villagers from the Udabage junction, where they will protest until 2 p.m.
Now, the nationwide trade union action has affected many public services, including public transport.
Newsfirst correspondent said that public transport services were not operational across many areas, while railways workers have also joined the trade union action. General Manager of Railways Dhammika Jayasundara said the operation of the trains have been disrupted today due to the employees reporting sick. As a result, public is advised to use alternative modes of transport. This was the situation at the Colombo Fort Railway Station this morning. The Fort Railway Station, which is usually a busy location during mornings, was deserted today. Our correspondent reported that trains did not operate from the Fort Railway Station.
The trade union action is a success. The Transport Minister made attempts to stop this trade union action. Trade unions that are linked with the Transport Minister attempted to sabotage this trade union action. All those efforts have failed. All the railway workers have decided to join with us.
The situation at the Gampaha railway station was similar to any other railway station. It was deserted. As trains did not operate from the Gampaha railway station, the public who were expecting to travel to work by train were affected. Limited buses were operating from the Gampaha main bus stand due to the trade union action. However, the number of people visiting the Gampaha main bus stand did not see any reduction. This is the situation at the Gaul main railway station and the main bus stand this morning. Our correspondent reported that limited number of people were seen visiting the Gaul bus stand and no trains were operating from the railway station. The Anuradhapura railway station was also completely closed today due to the trade union action and no tickets were issued. No trains were operating at the Polgahaveli railway station today. Trains and bus services in Hatton were also not functioning at the usual capacity today. Railway workers at the Mathura railway station extended their support to the current strike by not reporting to duty. The bus operations at the Mathura main bus stand was disrupted due to the shortage of passengers. This was the situation at the Hurana Central bus stand this morning. A correspondent said that the bus owners had stopped operating the buses due to the shortage of passengers.
The nationwide trade union action severely affected school transport services, and as a result, a low number of students were seen attending schools in Colombo today.
Schools in Colombo experienced a low student turnout today due to the trade union action. Ananda College, Nalanda College and Gotama Vidyalaya looked deserted this morning. Academic activities at schools across the country were also affected by the trade union action. Many schools in Kurunagala were closed today, while our cameras captured students heading back home this morning. Schools in Kandy did not operate today as a result of the strike. A similar situation was witnessed across schools in Chilau as well.
All leading economic centres in Sri Lanka were closed today in support of the nationwide trade union action.
The Manning Market Traders Association informed the traders and customers yesterday that the Manning Market will not operate today. Traders at the Manning Market also protested at the premises. The Kapitiya Special Economic Centre did not see any transaction take place today, as traders had decided to support the ongoing trade union action. The HAMBEGAMUWA Dedicated Economic Centre was closed down today as both traders and farmers had decided to support the nationwide strike. This was the situation at the Dambula Dedicated Economic Centre. Traders and the local population, supported by public servants and professionals, decided to protest on one lane of the Jaffna-Kandy main road.
Now, farmers in Polonnaruwa began a march this morning demanding the immediate removal of the government that destroyed their heritage.
Representatives of the Parakama Samudra Farmers Association as well as farmers in the area joined the protest. Traffic on the Polonnaruwa-Batticaloa main road was disrupted due to the protest.
Today marks 20 days for the Occupy Galle-Face protest that began on the 9th of April, with thousands taking over the iconic stretch of Galle-Face opposite the President's office.
Large crowds gathered at Galle-Face Green last night demanding the resignation of the government, including the President and Prime Minister. The protesters continue to stage their demonstrations despite the heavy showers in Colombo. The protesters staged their demonstrations in various forms of art. Teachers and principals who are currently engaged in a trade union action also joined the Occupy Galle-Face protests. They alleged that the actions of the government had negatively affected the education of children as a whole. Parents are unable to purchase books for their children. Students do not have textbooks. We are unable to teach the syllabus. Several students are coming to school in hunger. They tell us that they did not bring food. How can we teach children that are in hunger? Being unable to provide their children with textbooks, the parents tell us that they are unable to send their children to school. They say that there aren't enough books in schools and the prices have increased. There are surprises every day. How can they provide education to their children with all these obstacles? We wonder why these rulers are not listening to the struggle of the people. We would like to inform the politicians not to destroy this country. We only have a small portion of this country that is remaining. Our times have passed. Please protect this country for the future generations. If not, the children will have to leave for other countries as refugees. The MAALIGATENNA protest is also taking place opposite the temple trees, demanding the immediate resignation of the Prime Minister. The police made several attempts to remove the group from the premises and have also taken measures to play Pirit using speakers against the chants of the protesting youth.
This is the fourth day of our struggle. They've started playing Pirit at temple trees, and this has been going on for 48 hours. I think we made an impact to a point where they play Pirit for 48 hours straight. They tried to stop us initially with these trucks and lorries. We will not back down.
The struggle for the Freedom Rally, organized by the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, entered its third day today.
The freedom struggle organized by the Samagi Jana Balawegaya commenced from WELIMADA this morning.
මේ සමගි ජන බලවේගයේ අපි කිසිම කෙනෙකුට කාත් එක්කවත් පුද්ගලික ඩීල් නැහැ.
We, the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, has no private deals with anyone. We have one deal, that is the social agreement and the political agreement with the people of this country. We will not breach this agreement due to any reason.
අපි ඒක මොනම හේතුවකටවත් කඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ.
The rally that began in Kandy on Tuesday is set to reach Colombo in 2 days. The rally will head towards Dangovita today.
Sri Lanka police attempted to remove a makeshift tent set up by the National Agrarian Collective opposite the Parliament roundabout this morning. A heated situation arose when police officers attempted to remove the tent.
Although a group of officers from the Valikada police station attempted to remove the tent, it could not be removed due to strong objections raised by the protesters. The National Agrarian Collective set up a tent opposite the Parliament roundabout yesterday and started a satyagraha based on several demands, including fertilizer for cultivations and obtaining compensation for the crop damage caused last season. Minister of Agriculture Janaka Vakkumbura and State Minister Shantha Bandara arrived at the protest site today.
Against the backdrop of several people's protests calling for the government's resignation, the government is attempting to continue to stay in power. A meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarians will be held today, headed by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the President's house.
During the meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, the current political situation is to be discussed in depth. A meeting of the political party leaders represented in Parliament will also be held today, headed by Speaker Mahinda Yapa at the Parliamentary Complex. The meeting will focus on the upcoming Parliamentary week. A special meeting of the group MPs who announced their move to remain independent from the government will be held today at 1:30 p.m. under the patronage of former President Maithripala Sirisena. According to reports, they would reach a final decision on the President's invitation to discuss the formation of an all-party government. MPs representing the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, National Freedom Front, Pivithuru Hela Urumaya, Communist Party of Sri Lanka, Lanka Samasamaja Party, Ceylon Workers Congress and the MPs of the SLPP who are now independent from the government are set to attend the meeting.
It has been a week since the appointment of the new cabinet of ministers, including state ministers. But a problem has arisen as the portfolios and functions of the ministries have not been properly gazetted yet.
When inquired by Newsfirst, it was revealed that the new cabinet ministers and state ministers do not have an understanding of their respective subjects and functions. As a result, ministers as well as state ministers are facing difficulties in making decisions regarding the functions of the respective ministries. Several ministers said there are delays in taking certain decisions and the implementation process. Newsfirst inquired from the President's office regarding the failure to issue the relevant gazette notification, and a senior senior officials said steps will be taken to issue the Gazette notification soon.
Former Minister Namal Rajapaksa says he does not see any effort being made to provide a lasting solution to the present anti-government situation. He made this comment during his visit to the Colombo High Court to attend a legal case filed against him.
We need
to work on building political stability. That's how we can ensure economic stability of this country. The crisis in the country is not something that took place overnight. It's something that happened over time, and as of today, the situation has worsened. If all the parties are to unite, we need to make a decision on it. We need to pay more attention on a path to strengthen the economy of the country. A group is protesting saying "Gota, go home." The opposition is staging protest marches. The government has divided into two and seeking as to who has the majority. None of this will provide solutions to this crisis. The politicians should keep aside their political agendas and work towards the stability of the country. These are not opinions that came about overnight. At one point they said J.R. Jayawardena should be killed. We shouldn't panic over this and instead find out as to why people are saying so. We shouldn't give medicine for a headache to a patient with a different ailment. The right medicine needs to be given for the illness. The rulers need to take strict decisions. They need to listen to the problems of the people. It can be the president, prime minister or the opposition leader. Strict decisions should be made. The people's problems should be answered. There's no point in a cover-up.
The Sri Lanka Freedom Party has put down a condition to the president if it is to attend the all-party meeting scheduled for Friday.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා කැඳවීමක් කළා තියෙනවා නේද සිකුරාදා සාකච්ඡාවකට.
ඔව් කැඳවීමක් කළා තිබෙනවා. අපි පක්ෂේ අපේ
පාර්ලිමේන්තු The SLFP Central Committee and the parliamentary group had decided that if we are to attend this meeting, Shanta Bandara and Suren Raghavan must be removed from their ministerial positions. Before this meeting, the president awarded them with positions. He should have not done such a thing. There is no point in continuing with discussions when one takes over a group while discussions are going on. We had issues with respect to trust. The Central Committee reached a strong decision and we will speak with other parties as well.
ඒ අමාත්‍යවරු දෙක අයින් කරොත් සාකච්ඡාවට අපිට යන්න පුළුවන්.
ඒ කියන්නේ සාකච්ඡාවට යන්නේ ඕන් තනතුරු වලින් ඉවත් කළොත් පමණයි.
ඉවත් කරොත් පමණයි කියන එක අපි අනිත්
This is a decision reached by our party alone. There are other parties as well, including those who decided to become independent. There are around 50 MPs with us. This will have to be a collective decision as we cannot decide alone. We have to discuss this with the other parties.
ටිකක් අපි ගැඹුරින් ඉතාලම ගැඹුරින් අපි කල්පනා කරමු.
And that brings us to an end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Senita Senanayaka. News First, where the people come first. Take care and stay safe.